Hi everybody, welcome to my channel for a new battle report. This time my Infernal Dwarves are facing the Ogre from Alan, a good friend of mine from the Swiss team. Playing the same list as in the previous battle report, and Alan is playing a list with a block of Bruiser, with a Shaman, Master of Thaumaturgy, a Can BSB with a Magical Resistance 3, 2 Hunter with Regeneration, 3+ armor save respectively, 2+ armor save, 2 times 3 Tribesmen, 3 Bruisers, 2 Keen-Eaters, 2 Tiger, and then 4 Chariots, so 2 Cannon, 2 Scratapults. So a lot of shooting, range damage with the Master of Thaumaturgy, and then some mobile single model who can threat you in the backline, so Keen-Eater and Hunter, plus a Death Star to be a bit more scary on some scenario. We are playing Frontline Clash with again some of the old map that we had to train this weekend, and we took a Spoil of War. I took a spell a lot of damage because he has 2 regen hunters, so I thought why not threat them with Alchemy Blast, and then I took the Soft Comet, so Hereditary spell plus the Ward Save, Rod of I don't remember the name, End of Even, yeah. And regarding the Bull of Shamut, the Overlord on top decided to take Infernal Weapon Onyx Core, which is really great against multi-wound army. And my opponent took Hand of Even, Wrath of God, the Breast Weapon, and Smite the Unbeliever, plus the Hereditary from the Ogre. So what do I think regarding matchup? My Overlord could be really great on paper in this match. The problem is he has 2 mobile cannon, which are a bit problematic for him. So I have to play safe, restrain, and I might not be able to use him and have a huge impact on the game, unfortunately for me. It will be hard for him, I guess, to be very aggressive with the Hunter since I have Alchemy. So either he will try to play safe and not be too close to my blast, or he will try to come as fast as possible to my line to lock him in combat and avoid some blast. So I have to avoid these two, the second scenario of him going into safe combats. Of course, I could drop to try to profit from known parameter from the train and scenario. You will see with the map and so on, I was not so sure dropping would have been a good idea. And in any case, my opponent decided to drop everything before I had the opportunity to think about it. Of course, I will try to keep the tank close to my bunker, to react to the ambush, and on the other side of the board, I will try to use the Overlord to protect myself from behind, from the ambush threatening my war machines. And of course, he will most likely be happy to start the game, to push, go into the spoil, and so on. Okay, let's move on to deployment. Alan decided to drop this entire army, putting a Scratapult on the left and on the right, the 2 cannon. Here you have 3 Bruisers, Hunter with a Cat, 3 Tribesmen, second Hunter, the Heavy Hunter, so as we could say. And here within the rune, he decided to put his main unit, his main combat block, and you have 2 Keen-Eater in ambush. Reacting by doing the following: I checked the possibilities for the cannon, and I put my bull out of range or view. And here I decided to use the forest to have both Bastion and the tank within the forest to deny him the +1 to hit against Gigantic. That was the idea. Here in the middle I put the Bastion and the Lugar to try to play for the middle spoil. And here on the left I thought I might be able to use the bull and then try to go on the objective with the Goblin, was more or less the idea. But as you can see, here I have a huge space with units which are not so fit for combat. And this might be a huge weak spot for me in this battle. I could have done things a bit differently because I'm really heavy on the right flank to be able to fight in the middle of the park. And here on the left with the Overlord, but here in the middle I have some weak spots which my opponent could be able to exploit with Hunter possibly. This Hunter is quite far away from my line, so it will not be possible for him to threat me, but the second one could possibly threat my backline. And here my idea was following. I decided to be very compact with all of our machines and then turn around the bull to protect this part and turn around the tank if needed to protect this part of the board when the Keen-Eater comes on the board. That was the best idea I came up with. His turn 1, he comes forward carefully, not to take too much DTs onto the ring, and moves forward with the Hunter, and second Hunter goes behind the hill, try to profit from the shadow zone behind the hill. I have no possible charge on him and he's able to threat me. The bull doesn't see him as well. Could have maybe have a better position by putting some kind of unit like the tank to have a line of sight here and the bull further to the left. Maybe it would have been possible to deny him the shadow zone. Should have spent a bit more time to see all the possibilities, I don't know. And here to the right is coming straight to the token. And that's it in Magic. Using my binding scroll to bind the Wrath of God. And then my opponent, to my surprise, to our surprise actually, with 3 dice, rolled the End of Even boosted on the tank. And it was the card number 1, he rolled 666, which is relatively low likelihood to roll it, which means a dead mage. And since we are playing practice game, it was quite unlucky. I decided to allow him to stay on the board and to resolve another miscast. Yeah, basically it would have been not so interesting for him to lose it. We are here to test things and not to make things easy with a very unlucky roll. So I decided to allow him to let the mage propose to him, put the mage back. I mean, there was no point. So yeah, the mage was back and just suffered 1 wound from the miscast, and I suffered 1 wound from the spell to the tank. And then with the cannon, he was able to put 2 wounds, another 2 wounds to the tank, despite me being into the forest. So yeah, that's unfortunate. And then it was possible for him to do a couple of wounds onto my Bastion unit. And that's it, my turn 1. Sorry for the blurry picture. I adjusted a bit the position of the tank to threat a bit this part of the board, but I'm too far away from the token, and still it's quite a long charge. I remain within the forest with both large target. My bull comes to the side to be able to see this part of the board, and yeah, I guess that's it. I move forward a little bit with the Hobgoblin, move back with the light cavalry, move forward a bit with the Lugar. Was not so afraid to fight the hunter since I have AP2 and flaming attack. Should be able to be fine against him. In Magic, he used the binding scroll against Quicksilver Lash. Then I'm able to against Molten Copper. He dispels Quicksilver Lash, and I'm able to cast Soft Comet, Hereditary Fury of Nebis Gesh, which I put here. And then yeah, with my shooting, I put both Titan Mortar onto this Hunter. I was able to wound him 1 time, but he was able to pass the armor save 5 up on the Hunter. So well done for him. And that's it, his turn 2. Keen Eater comes on the board. Hunter takes the charge against my slaves, and that's what I pointed out during the deployment stage. Basically was able to get a middle to long charge range from the Hunter onto the slave, and I couldn't allow him to be locked in combat. Me, no counter charge. I don't know where he will be free from combat. It might be too difficult for me, so I decided to flee this charge out of the board. Then he redirect onto the Lugar. Okay. The rest of the movement consisted basically of him moving onto the token, here collecting the token. One thing I need to point out, my opponent plays this 3 unit as is if they had musician, but they didn't actually. But yeah, that's something that would have caused maybe him a bit more problems sometimes while maneuvering the units. Maybe take some different choices, but yeah, I mean, it's a practice game, so not too bad. We are here to see what could happen in the game, so it's not too problematic. So here comes out of the arc of both the bull and the tank. In Magic, he put -1 to wound on the Hunter, and then -1 strength onto the Lugar with a random Smite the Unbeliever. I was okay with that because I wanted to take a champion, challenge with my champion. And then the cannon this one could not shoot anymore due to misfire, and the other one didn't hit me this turn, which was good news for me, because I might suffer a bit less from the cannon, and only 1 cannon remaining could mean the bull could be able to do something. My turn 2, I move back with the tank to block possible charge from the Keen Eater, so the only available charge would be onto my tank. And here I decided to put my bull back to protect my line if he comes forward with the Hunter, but at the same time have a line of sight if he charges the chaff. Here as a Keen Eater, I put the chaff in the front. That was the idea. I move Titan Mortar here to shoot at this guy, Titan Mortar shoot at this guy. They both have regeneration. I might be able to do some wounds. And here Bastiodon move a bit back, Bastion, to be able again to shoot. No, I'm not able to draw line of sight to this model, but to shoot in the front, maybe at some scoring unit. And here I was able to pass my steadfast 9 rerollable and to reform in order to face him with maximum attack. So we'll see what happened. In Magic, I was able to cast another soft comet close to the first one, which is here. And then I was able to do 2 wounds with a silver spike on the bruiser unit, trying to force panic check. My first hereditary didn't came down, and then with the blunderbuss I was able to do, I guess, yeah, I'm not sure if I was able or not to draw line of sight. I was able to do a couple of wounds to this Keen Eater, I guess 2. I don't remember exactly if it was with the War Machine or the blunderbuss or the ball thrower. And here on this side I was able to do nothing, unfortunately for me. Okay, and here close combat, I was able, to my surprise, I had an attribute from Alchemy. I was wounding on 6 up rerollable. I was able to stick in a couple of wounds, and I did 3 wounds to him since he has no regeneration. He did 2 wounds to me only in return, so I was able to win the combat by a banner, a rank, another wound. So he had a 6 rerollable, and he was able to pass it. Unfortunately for me, I decided not to reform because basically he had 2 possible charges. The first one would be with this unit here, try to get possible overrun onto the bastion and block me. Second one would be this unit onto my flank, and I decided to stay like this. Basically the idea was here, lost already 2 wounds, so if he charged in the flank, I have 9 attacks on 3+4+ to try to do 1 wound to him. Should be possibly sufficient to deny him the rank, and then to be steadfast, kill the hunter, then reform in the front, attack him, and prepare some counter charges for the later stages. He was able to, yeah, that's it. His turn 3, charges the chaff, he moves around with the Keen Eater, who was still a token incendiary, moves around, put the chaff in the front, and here charges. I needed a 5 on the dice, was able to connect the flank of my Lugar, and here decided to turn around and yeah, use the Musician to move 6. Here the same, reform, move 6, and here move a bit forward, but as you can see it's 2 soft comets, so it's a 40 Genshu strain check, and here I think I made a mistake. I didn't focus in shooting, putting him a flaming token, which is bad because with a flaming token that's 40 DTs, 1/3 of this, so it's like 12 health point lost, so it's really huge. It's like 4 bruises. I should have really do everything in my favor to try to give him flammable and to threat him with that, but I didn't, unfortunately. So yeah, on his turn 3, what else? He put Hereditary on the Hunter, again -1 strength on my Lugar, so still wounding on 6 up rerollable. He tried to put a breast weapon on the Hunter, I was able to dispel it. And soft comet did only 2 wounds to the BSB, 2 wounds to the unit. Not too bad, but expected slightly more wounds. And the cannon was able to kill the remaining cannon on, I guess 5 up, because long range. And no +1 since forest, I guess 5 up. Or maybe move forward, I'm not sure. I guess 5 up or 4 up maybe. He was able to do the 3 remaining wounds and kill the tank, which is really bad because I really badly needed the tank in this game. So yeah, that's life. In combat, things went bad as well because good news was I was able to do the remaining wound on the hunter. Bad news was I wasn't able to do 1 wound to them, so they were able to have 1 rank and make me flee. They didn't catch me and stop a couple of inches before the bastion. My turn 3, I charged the Keen Eater who beat my chaff on the last turn. I rallied the Lugar to be able to see different things. And put my War Machine. I lost 1 War Machine from the... I guess it forced a panic check. I don't remember where was my War Machine. I guess here. Yeah, when the tank died, I had a 9 rerollable on War Machine. I failed it and I rolled off the board. Yeah, I lost a gun with him to that. It's a bit frustrating, but that's life. So my turn 3, what did I do? Yeah, take discharge, reform to be in the front of the hunter, move my bunker forward to be within 12 inch of the hobgoblin in case he decided to charge. Then I can turn around and charge him. Here, as you can see, he has an incendiary token, so I will be. It will be easy for my overlord to kill him probably. In magic, I tried a soft comet, dispelled. I put silver spike to kill this saber-tooth tiger, and then the blunderbuss were able to kill with reroll to wound to do 2 wounds to the Keen Eater, which is good for me. And then what else? Combat, I was able to kill the Keen Eater and just reform. That's it. His turn 4, he moved past the leadership to march and move forward with the hunter, turn around and moved with the musician out of arc of the bastion unit, but at the same time decided to chaff me with the remaining cat. And then, yeah, my Lugar are here. They moved a bit. I don't remember how I did this move, to be honest with you. Yeah, I guess I decided to reform when I rally, looking at the back of the map, and then I made some wheels to come here. Why not? Okay, so it's turn 4. Yeah, it has both token. Scenario will be really hard for me. And he moves with the hunter out of arc of the bull to threat my backline, and that's it. In Magic, he put hereditary. I don't remember exactly where. What did he do during the Magic? I guess he tried to put D6, did 1 wound to the Lugar, to try to get some points from them, and that was it, more or less. I was able to dispel the rest. And let's move on to my turn 4. Decided not to charge the cat, but use him as a shield for the Death Star. When he charges me, he's only able to connect with part of the model. And I put the bull in the front. The idea is, if he doesn't charge me, I can as well possibly counter charge here to this unit. That was a little bit the idea. Here I used the gunnery team to chaff this unit, who is a threat to my bunker. And here I decided, I don't know why, because the Lugar had a good position here to be able to counter charge. Or I should have maybe charged why not charge the dog? Be here in the front, and then if you decide to charge, I can always feign flight. Or not charge the dog and then just stay here in the back to be able to counter charge if he decided to come in to threat him a bit more. I guess that would have been way smarter than march out of arc. To do what? I mean, I will never be able to catch these guys. I will be able to do nothing. The chariot are a threat to them. 5 guys remaining. That was a bad move, I guess. Then into Magic, with a Quicksilver Ash, I was able to do 3 wounds to him, and then with the Ballist, the Bolt Thrower, able to kill this guy. So that was good news. And yeah, he's turn 5, charge in with both the unit of bruisers and the unit of the big unit of bruisers onto my. As you can see, the soft comet came down, but did almost nothing on the unit. So a bit unlucky for me. Charges onto the bastion unit, stand and shoot. But as you can see, the problem is with both catapult, I lost like 15 models. And with only like 15 mod, no, I lost 9 models. With only 15 models remaining, problem is he will be able to move the cat, reform, and then kill almost all my units, and I will have no steadfast. So that's a bit problematic. That's where we decided to stop the game, because there was no point really continuing, especially in the shooting phase. He was able to do 3 wounds to my overlord, so there is no point for my overlord to charge into this unit. There was already a challenge between my Bastion and the champion. So then I would charge, but with 1 wound remaining, I could even fail the charge or get killed in combat. I mean, there was no point really continuing this fight. We saw a bit what happened, and that was it. We decided to call it here the game. At this point of time, that would have been probably a big win for him, probably a 16-4, but we didn't play until the remaining stage. If I would have been able maybe to kill a few other things, but I mean, that's it more or less. So well done to him, and of course he took the spoil of war. Yeah, complicated situation from the beginning, because my deployment was not good. He starts, goes forward on the spoil. It's quite a complicated map, because there is an impassable close to the spoil of war, and makes things difficult to really go to the right side in the front, since I wanted to have the bull a bit out of shooting range from the cannon. So it was difficult to really profit from my strengths during this game, because the tank had difficult game, the overlord had difficult game, and Bastion as well, because he was able with his catapult to kill a lot of my guys. So that was difficult. Of course, I tried to hide stuff from cannon, but my engine still died pretty early in the game, and I wasn't able to really profit from this strong right flank. Also difficult combat for the Lugar disciples who had to flee and so on. And yeah, I think I never had really a chance for the spoil, so I should have deployed differently. Either play the spoil or don't play it, but in a more safe way to secure a better score. The idea I came up with would be the following: put on the left part of the board, the bull. I think that was a good position, could have been a bit more to the left. And then around this area, the tank, to be still out of possible shooting range from the cannon. So the tank, safe zone. And then here put the bastion, possibly the orc, or either the lugars, have a good left flank. Or I think a good option would have been as well to put the lugar far to the right, to make him choose between Death Star coming strong to the left for this token and fight possibly with the bastion unit, or going straight to the right to deny the lugar going against this unit where they have good chances of winning combat. So I guess that would have been a much better situation for me to possibly put the lugar on the right, make him take the choice. If he goes for the right, then I could go for the center with the bastion unit. I guess that would have been much better. And furthermore, block completely Kineater possible entrance on the back of my lines to be possibly safe. Turn 2, basically. Just block everything, wait 2 turns, okay, Kineater out, and then I can really play and move forward. And then I can really play with this impassable to be in a safe zone with my tank, threat him, and yeah, just play a more safe game, be secure to take this spoil and try to contest this one. And yeah, threat him with the lugar. I guess that would have been a much better approach in this game. So that's what I learned from it. But it was still very interesting to play this practice game against Alan, and well done to him. Okay, I hope you appreciate the next battle report. Couple of battle report will be a tournament, the Ocho online big UB tournament with interesting games. So I will be happy to show you these games a bit more in detail. And I hope that you will like them too. See you soon on my channel. Bye guys.